Let's go. Yeah. What's going on, world? You already know what time it is.
It's your girl, Nicky.
Hey, your boy, Dean, and you are officially tuned into the Black King, Black Queen podcast, man, where we highlight black love, black unity, black excellence, man, black everything, man. You already know what time it is. So, baby girl, how you feel? How you feel?
Feeling great. And obviously, I'm feeling tired. It wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't start that by saying that. So I'm obviously very tired. It is obviously very late and the only time that we have to record. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Today, Dean and I went to a networking event, and it was an experience that we have never done before. Well, I have never done one before, especially in this city. So it was nice to be there. So I'm going to let Dean tell you what that was about.
Yeah, wifey's kind of boosting. It's not really that late. So yesterday we recorded after 1 o'clock. It's 11:52.
Late.
It's late, but it's not that late.
Tired.
We're still up. She lying, man.
I'm not.
But honestly, yeah, like wifey said, we went to an Earn Your Leisure networking event, man. For those that don't know Earn Your Leisure, if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you do know who EYL is, man. Two of the biggest dudes, one of the biggest platforms in the world right now, man, in the multimedia streaming industry. And man, like it was dope, man. We got to see faces that we didn't see in a long time, network with a lot of different people in the city. I thought Nicky was just gonna be a fly on the wall, right? But we were all flies on the wall because it was
At some point.
It was body heat in that place, like crazy. It was rammed to the gods, right?
Yeah.
But Troy and Rashad, they went up there. 19 Keys went up there. They did their thing. They talked, and after they got finished talking, man, we were just able to network with them. We weren't even really gonna say anything, but we ended up going up to everybody and just chopping it up with them for a little bit. Like it was mad dope, man. Like wifey just wouldn't let me leave without taking photos. And then she got a video of me. So, I uploaded that quick time on IG, put that reel up. But it was good, man. Just to see the city come out. What we want to see in our community is just, our community. I mean, us black folks move together in unity, man. Like we don't really do a lot of that out here in Toronto, Canada. But I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. Like, we got a lot of potential out here, man. It's an untapped market in a lot of different industries. And, man, like, I feel like it could be, the next Atlanta because they got, like, crazy unity over there. I was asking Alex, I was like, man, is it really, like, what it looks like, what it seems like, what you guys make it seem like? He was just like, boy, let me tell you something, man. Atlanta, for real, like, we rock with each other. We love each other, and we just support each other. Like if it's their own. So I'm just like, wow. So we want to be like that too over here. So, even in our industry, man, we're trying to get as much married folks as possible, man. We want to build, man, not only for ourselves, but for the next generation, man, so we can leave behind legacy. Man, black legacy to us means a lot. Black family dynamic means a lot, man. We want to make sure that, our children are growing up in a 2-parent household, man. Like, so that means a lot to us. How you feel, though?
I think it was really great to be in that atmosphere. Dean made that little comment about me being a fly on the wall, and that's because I did have a lot of anxiety going there. Like I at one point he was supposed to go to work, and so he was like, well, I'm not going to be able to make it. And I was like, I'm not trying to go by myself. Like that's going to be weird. But I ended up going, like he said, at one point we were all flies on the wall. But after a while, he kind of like did his own thing. He went there and I was stuck to talk to people and start interacting and giving out business cards and that sort of thing. So it was nice to be there. It was nice to see Black people together in Toronto, happy to meet each other, happy to be talking to each other, taking pictures. We had people coming up to us like, we love what you guys are doing. And I was just telling Dean in the car, it was like, now when I go places, I have to remember that because we are out there, people could be staring at me because they know me. Not so much like there's a beef thing or this girl doesn't look or whatever goes through women's head. But it's like they may know you from somewhere. So now I got to kind of shift my focus because a lot of people were staring at me today and I was kind of like,
why you gotta be like that? Like, why you gotta be?
What are you looking at?
Like, why you gotta be like that? Females are something else. You guys are something else. Like,
I don't know
unnecessary.
What it is. It is unnecessary.
You know what's crazy though? Like, man, today really hit me that we're actually making an impact, man, in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes you may be doing things, and you may feel like you're not getting flowers, or you may feel not necessarily like you're not getting flowers, but it's not going how you want it to
Mm-hmm.
go when you're in the starting phase of a particular thing, kind of like how we're in the beginning phase of this whole podcast, like your journey. I'm talking about beginning,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you may be at some point like defeated and all that stuff, but man, today we stepped out. So my sister was holding down the line for us, and we got there a little bit late because we had to stop and get some food. Man, as soon as we got in line, like before I even stepped foot in line,
Mm-hmm.
someone was just like, "Oh my God, I love what you guys are doing. Their story is amazing. These guys were here and then they lost it.
Yeah.
Now they're building it back. You guys' podcast is amazing." And I was just like, shoot, we didn't even get in line yet.
I know.
Like,
That was actually really
we didn't
wild.
even get in line yet. But it's crazy, man. Like, I don't want to sound too spiritual for you guys, but I'm a very spiritual guy, so it is what it is. Before I went there, I was just like, man, like God just show up in some way, shape, or form. Like, give me some type of confirmation, man. Like, that we're on the right step, man. We're heading in the right direction, on the right path. Like, trusting that you're leading us, right? And man, before I could even blink, it was just like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
good. And then it carried out throughout the whole entire day. And we were just walking, oh my God, you guys stuff is amazing. Young black couple, this, that, Ray, blah. I love what you're doing with the youth, this, that. I'm just like, your Black King, Black Queen movement, we love it. I was like, whoa. Like, okay. So we got in the car, we're just like, you know what? Nah, man, it's time to go crazy. Like, it's time to go crazy. And it's not just because people were like noticing us or whatever, but it's because we know we can do more, and we know where we want to be. So it's just like, if you know better, just do better.
do better.
Right? Like, we weren't thinking it was gonna go out like that tonight, but it actually did. Like,
Yeah.
what else did you feel like?
It was like I said, it was just great to be in an atmosphere with like-minded people, colored people, and just doing things to better ourselves and make sure that we're doing the next steps that we need to do to ensure that our next generation is also doing well too. So it was great event. Thanks for pulling me out. Happy to have been there.
Yep.
I want to be at the next one and all the other ones to come because staying cooped up is not doing any good. So I'm learning. I'm getting there.
Man. Speaking of like next generation, what we could pass down. So today we're actually going to talk about weddings. Man, like, is it worth it or is it not worth it? Like, and what we're going to talk about is our wedding. And we're spending $100,000 on the wedding, or close to, like, just under 100,000. We didn't get to 100,000. If we probably add everything up, we probably get there, but we're close to $100,000. Was it worth spending on a wedding? Like, I'll repeat that. Is it worth spending $100,000 on a wedding? Or would you spend $100,000 on your wedding? Like, would you do that again? Like, so, first of all, before we get there, how do you feel about us spending that much money on the wedding?
Okay, so at the time when we were getting married, I think the problem was we went into the wedding without setting a budget.
Yeah.
We just,
oh my God.
We just said, okay, we're going to get married. You do your work. I'll do my work. We'll go look for venues. We'll hire the caterers, the florists, all that stuff. We just did it. We were young people who just used our money to make sure that we were going to put on a big bang for the wedding and everybody was smiling.
That's exactly it.
That's where we went wrong. I'm pretty sure if we had budgeted, we would have found cheaper deals for things and we would have been able to kind of like make it all, make more
the
sense.
thing is, because at the end of the day, so I was out in BC working. I was doing fiber optics for my dad's company at the time. And my money was coming in like pretty good. So what I was doing, the money was coming in, I was just throwing it. So I just said, all right, let's put it here, let's put it there. And then on top of that, were you working at the time too?
Yeah, I got my first little teaching job.
Right? So she was working. And then on top of that, the parents helped out. So it's just like, all right, cool, man. Like, first, like, I don't think we negotiated anything for the wedding. Right? And looking back, so guys, we spent all that money. Mind you, our wedding was a movie and a half. Like, we did it all, man. Full-blown concert, dancers. We did a skit. We had the washing of the feet, man.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote and produced a song for her. Hello. Like, Dean Samuels, if you know the wedding song, search Dean Samuels, So in Love, man. It's the best wedding song in the planet. You feel me? In the planet.
Shameless plug.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, we did the whole nine and beyond, right? And at the end of the night, or at the end of the night, you look back a couple days later, you don't break even. Like not even
Not
close.
even
Like
close.
not even close. You're just like, oh my God. Like, so, right? So should we have spent all that money on the wedding, or would you have rather do like a low budget, like super low budget wedding, and have money for a down payment of a house at that time?
Well, at that time, I would have loved to maybe have put that money down on a house if I knew what our situation was going to look like afterwards. But in the moment, I would have still done a big wedding.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I feel like it's just us. Like we do a lot of things really big.
Yeah.
Like everything, the proposal at the time was like super different.
Yeah.
Writing a song, whatever, music video for a song, different. Wedding, like going all in and out, different. Like a lot of the kind of events we do is just different. But I mean, you know what? I would advise anyone that asks, don't spend that much money on a wedding in your life, yo. Me personally, I don't think it's worth it in any way, shape, or form. Because you spend all that money on one night, and then the real work happens afterwards, man. Like,
right.
Like, so you don't want to go broke on the wedding, and then your marriage is just shooting shambles, right? So it's more about building your marriage than putting on for people, because we put on a show. I'm not gonna lie. We
essentially put on a show.
It was put on a full-blown show.
like we were literally at the top with our food in front of us. I don't even think we tasted it, and we gave them chicken and salmon. Guys, they didn't have an option. They had both, chicken and salmon. But we had a full itinerary, and we were watching it, and like Dean was corresponding with the MC, like, yep. Okay, no, do this one next, and then call that person next. Like we literally filmed a skit after our first look that morning so that we could show it the night of the reception. Like a whole thing, guys.
Nah, it was crazy. So
we had salsa dancers.
Yeah, you got that. Like, that was a surprise. I didn't know about that.
So much.
That was a complete surprise.
Packed night. Right?
It was crazy. So like looking back, I'd be like, you know what? To me, it's not that worth it. And just focus on building legacy, man. Building that a strong family foundation. Get that crib, because it means a lot. If you can do that, like do that.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened to us? So we got married, and yeah, we didn't. Like I said, we didn't break even, or not. We
didn't break.
Yeah, we didn't break. Right. So like I said, I was in British Columbia at the time. So we moved to British Columbia for 1 month, and then I came back for my cousin's wedding, and then decided, you know what, I'm not going back to BC. There's a big opportunity that opened itself up out here. Moved out here. We did that for a couple of months. We were in my parents' crib. So now we're just scrambling, and there's no money, because you know why? The money went to the wedding. You know what's funny? There's actually a meme with our picture, and what it says. Like, what is it? It's like
I don't remember what it says.
Oh, he proposes to you. Would you rather a big wedding and no house, or a small wedding and a house, or something like that? What would you choose? Right? And like so that started going around like crazy, man. I think it was just a meme. Like, I don't think it had anything to do with us. I guess the picture was just so fire they just used it. Because I mean, nobody really knew our situation. Like, no one knew if we had a house or not. Right? But yeah, going back, me personally, if we were supposed to do it, I like the big wedding. But knowing what I know now, like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't do it, but I don't regret doing it. But I would also not advise anyone now to do it if you can't afford to do it. So if you don't think, or you know that you're not going to be able to be stable afterwards, and have that comfortable lifestyle that you want to have, I would not advise you to have a big wedding, especially after COVID and stuff. I don't even think people are having big weddings like that anymore anyways, so it's probably not really in style. So save your money, have your little close thing, because at the end of the day too, I also find like you go out of your way to invite all of these people to your wedding, and then your first anniversary comes. Wow, chokes. Your first anniversary comes and you don't hear from anybody. Like nobody remembers you. Nobody cares. You went out of your way to be nice to these people and nobody actually really cares.
I think in our culture, it's just like we invite people we knew 20 years ago. And because they were in our lives 20 years ago, we haven't heard from them 20 years. They get an invite. Like, I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
And my mom was ready to invite like a whole bunch of people. Actually, was she? I don't know. But I know a lot of mothers do that stuff, right? And man, it just doesn't work out how it was supposed to work out, because then you're celebrating with people that, one, don't really know you on that level anymore, and two, like, are not gonna sow into your union or your future. I'm not saying, hey man, everybody, you better give this amount of money, but come on, man. Like, come on, right? So that was tough.
And even I look back at pictures, I'm like, this person was at our wedding. Even like a ton of kids. I was like, I thought this was a no kid wedding. I seen about 10 kids at this wedding. Shocked out of my face.
First of all, people came to our wedding that weren't even invited and took up seats. And,
could you imagine?
Like, that was a ballsy move. Like,
I had actually somebody look at us before walking into the reception, before they called our name, saying, Nikki, I don't see my name on the list. And I was like, because you weren't invited, you're not going to see your name there.
You know you weren't invited.
I got to go now.
All right. Okay, so let me ask you this. How did you feel? Okay, so they know now. We got married, moved. I had an apartment. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a story. Before we got married, I had an apartment out in BC for about 7 months. We got married, moved into the apartment for 1 month, came back to Toronto, like I said, for my cousin's wedding, ended up staying here. So I got rid of that apartment. We were just renting it, didn't own it. Came and we were living at my parents' cribs, right? Between my parents and Nikki's parents' crib, right? So that was the next 3 years. About 3. That was the next 3 years. We're just living here at my parents', right? How did you feel with that transition? Like, with our marriage?
Well, when you decided not to come back to, or not to go back to BC, I thought you were joking at first. Because I was like, bro, we've had this apartment for so long, and now we could finally live in it, finally live on our own, and you're choosing to come back here. So that was a little trippy to me. So anyways, coming back here, I think it was very hard for me, actually. And I still think I'm just getting over the fact that we have to live with parents and that we're still living with parents.
Well, I mean, we're not really living with parents because my parents have
here,
been in BC since, or
so,
out west since 2013. They have never lived in the house
with us. Yeah, that's true.
So
in their home, I would much prefer to have our own space with our own family so that I could do my own thing and learn to be that wife in her own space and make her house the way she wants it to be, like that sort of thing, to have that whole experience. I think I've missed out on that, and I'm still missing out on that, but it's coming, y'all. Don't worry.
Right. So what's crazy is when we did get the house and we thought everything was about to be litty, but we got into the biggest financial rut of our life, man. A lot of money got stolen from us, and by God's grace, though, we're still able to hold on to the house.
We still have it.
It's rented out, though. We don't live in it. So and if you don't, like, living in Toronto, the GTA, the prices are crazy. Like, for you to buy a house, you got to sell both your arms, your legs, and your wife, right? Like, so right now it's just like, you know what? I'd rather have someone else pay down the mortgage of our property where we're at, that we have, and just rent wherever we're at, man. So, I mean, we're figuring it out as it goes. Do I have any regrets? No. Do I wish we can be in our own spot? Like our own spot that we can make our own? For sure, 100%, man. I wish my baby girls could have their own room and all that stuff. And we're this close, man. That's what makes it so much more hard, like, for me, and a lot difficult for me, because I'm just like, I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, we have the entire house furnished. Like that house that we're
Mhm.
supposed to live in, I have all the furniture for it.
Everything.
We got everything for it. We just
Everything.
can't be in there right now. But
And
it's just a
that's okay.
season.
It's okay.
That doesn't define us where we're at right now. We're just being mad transparent with you guys because this is stuff that happens, man. Like you get married and you expect it to be like all lovey dovey. Everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna move into your dream home, and this is what it is. But man, we were all around. So we were at her parents for a bit, my parents for a bit. Then I just renovated this entire basement where you see the podcast studio at right now, and we just been holding it down for a couple of years now, man. Yo, at the end of the day, this is our spot. We made the best of it, but there's gonna come a time where we do get our spot, man, like our own spot. And when it does come, it'll all be worth it. My thing is, yeah, yo, it's good for marriages to go through that good phase and be all right. And, everybody's posting on Instagram and showing off their marriage and all that stuff. But what are you going to do when things don't go the way you saw it?
Mhm.
All right. Or like for us, we were on our own, left. Now we're not on our own. We are on our own, but we're not in our own spot. And then our marriage is still strong, right? And it didn't mess with our marriage. It didn't break us. Like it honestly made us stronger. Don't get it twisted. We do go through a lot of things, right? But it is what it is. Were you ever like just like upset at our marriage because of that situation, or was it just like I wish?
Think plenty of times.
Yeah.
I think plenty of times I have felt like, why am I here? Like, why do we have to be here?
Yeah.
Everyone wants their own little space,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And especially like with raising your kids, because not that it's a problem, but like if your parents come to town, then like all of the little routines that you try to build kind of go out the window.
Yep.
Granted, they're amazing people, great help, love to have them here. But it kind of like changes the course of things because at the end of the day, it's their house, right? Their rules apply, and we kind of just like abide by them. So it's kind of, some days I do get upset. Some days I did get upset. But now that I know we have a property, and now that I know living here is kind of a choice on a thin line, because worst comes to worst, we could literally go move in there. I feel much better about it. Yeah. And we've really kind of made it here our own space. We have a studio. I have an office. You have an office. You have a studio. The kids have a playroom. Mel has a classroom. We have the bedroom. Like there's just so much going on here, and we've made it our own. We made it count.
Right. And sometimes it's actually better for you to just, some people are against just building for a season. I think right now we're just in our super building season. Like,
and we have to be.
Yeah, like and we're building. Sometimes it gets frustrating, but I'm just happy that we didn't lose our mind, man, because man, some days were tough. Like, cause I remember there was one point in time where everyone was putting down on pre-construction properties, and man, we just didn't have it at the time, and I was so upset at myself. I was like, yo, how can I call myself a man? I'm here grinding and all that stuff, and I can't even come up with like $50,000 or $10,000 right now to put on the property. Like, what is going on with me, man? I just hated myself, man, because I always looked at marriage as, hey, man, you gotta provide a property for your family, and boom, once you do that, just go out and work, and that's it. But what this did was teach me like other core principles, like what it means to be the head of the household, man, and like how to actually hold on my family, make sure my wife is good, all that stuff. Be in tune with the other side of things, right? And sometimes, for me, sometimes I'll grind. You guys know I end up in the hospital and all that stuff, so like kind of shifting my focus. But now I'm just like, all right, boom, we have that one property. What do we got to do to now get to the next stage and be out of here? So maybe if we dummy down our wedding from the jump and then we had all that cash and I came to Toronto and made all that money quick. So I was working for this company called Instacart. Man, the first 2 months I made like $60,000. Boom. So I could have had all of that, and sure, we could have, who knows what we could have done with that, plus the wedding money. But I mean, it is what it is.
We were young.
Like, we was young. It is what it is. But I ask you guys, man, put it in the comment section or wherever you're listening to this at, hit us up. What would you rather do? Have Or what would you rather spend the money on? A big wedding or living in your dream home or a home if you have the chance or the opportunity to do so? Like,
Yep.
that's that.
That's that.
No closing remarks. like, I'm good, man.
You
like,
called me out.
oh man, look at this. The camera is literally about to die, and I'm gonna keep this in there. This just sucks. like,
Thank y'all for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think. And love y'all.
yeah, that's that. You guys already know my thing, man. At the end of the day, I'm challenging you guys to choose purpose over fear. Why? Because there's an entire audience out there waiting on your yes. So I'm challenging you to choose purpose over fear today because someone is depending on you. Man, you are the answer to someone's problem, and I just need you to believe it. I need you to believe that you have everything it takes to be what God assigned and ordained you to be. So I'm challenging you, man. Just walk out your destiny. Walk and live in purpose on purpose. You know what time it is, man. It's your boy Dean.
And your girl, Nikki.
And we out. Peace.